don't help him do something drastic, that he's gonna die.
I don't talk about it very much, so it's very upsetting.
Word on the street is the Kardashians have locked Rob up in a shady mental health clinic, and people are demanding for them to release the information about where that man is at. Rob has been missing for over a year now, and at first, people thought he was just being low-key, since that's what he usually does. However, he missed Kourtney's wedding, and he's also failed to spend time with his daughter, Dream, at all in the past year. It's like he just vanished off the surface of the earth, and the Kardashians expect everybody to act like nothing happened. Rob has always been different from his sisters, but his recent disappearance is really disturbing to a lot of people, and they're digging to find out what's really going on and why his family has shoved him under the rug. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, Rob is the youngest of all the Kardashian siblings and the only boy in the family. He appeared in some of the seasons of the Kardashians back when it was still airing on E!, but after the show ended and moved to Hulu, he pretty much disappeared, and ain't nobody heard from him ever since. During his time on the show, he was a lot for being overweight, and this messed with his mental health big time.
He was always someone who was very athletic, and he's gained over 100 pounds in the last year.
Aside from the extreme body shaming comments, he failed miserably at running any of his businesses, unlike his sisters who have become literal billionaires from theirs. He had a stock line called Arthur George, but he was forced to sell it to Chris because the company was tanking and he needed money to pay Blac Chyna child support for their daughter Dream. He also created a hot sauce company as well as a clothing line called Halfway Dead. But just like the sock line, these businesses have gone nowhere. Rob became the black sheep of the family, and everybody saw him as the loser brother who wasn't able to utilize the family's resources to become successful.
Put me up because he has been really busy actually, and he owns so many companies. So first and foremost, he owns a vegan hot sauce line that is actually sold in some 7-Eleven in LA. Kris Jenner has promoted some of this on her page, so he's doing that. He started a clothing brand called Halfway Dead Clothing, and although the name sounds kind of like dark, the clothing itself actually looks pretty nice. Here's Big Sis supporting her brother. Now, what happened to his sock line? His sock line was named Arthur George. The name Arthur and George comes from both his middle name and his father's middle name, so it's just a combination of the two. So he sold that, and he got into the t-shirt line and the hot sauce line in 2021 and 2022. And he does have one other company. He has a soda brand called Exotic Pop. Now, at the time I'm reading this article, it says it's not released yet, so I don't know if it has been since then.
Aside from all that, he's always made it a point not to spend time with his family. For example, he wasn't present at Kim and Kanye's wedding back in 2014, as well as Kourtney and Travis Barker's wedding back in 2021. And this made a lot of people wonder if he and his sisters have some kind of silent feud that nobody knows about. When he was asked why he didn't show up to Kim's wedding, he blamed it on his weight and said he felt uncomfortable with how the suit looked on him. "I was doing my suit fittings in Paris right before the wedding, and I just wasn't comfortable," revealed the Kardashian. "I'm 6'1", and at my most, I probably weighed 300 pounds. There were cameras at the airport on our trip there, and I was very unhappy with the person I saw in the pictures. I'm upset I missed my sister's wedding, but it was a personal decision. I just wasn't down to have photographers follow me, so I made sure I was away from all that. I'm very good at disappearing." And when he was asked about why he missed Kourtney's wedding, he once again blamed it on the fact that there were going to be cameras all around, and he didn't like the spectacle of the whole thing. Rob didn't feel comfortable attending Kourtney's wedding because he doesn't like a spectacle. It's just not his thing, and he's become an extremely private person. Rob likes to stay out of the spotlight and keep to himself. He will make appearances at more private, low-key events, but doesn't like to be around the cameras and at events like this. Some people were not here for Rob always making up an excuse not to show up to important events like this, and they decided to body shame him for it, like this person who said, "He's at home eating pizza." Child, this disgusting comment just goes to show what Rob really goes through every time his name is brought up. Anyway, he recently celebrated his 37th birthday, but despite his entire family flooding his social media to show him love, he completely ignored them as usual and didn't post a single thing to acknowledge his birthday. However, he made a very shocking appearance at Dream's 7th birthday party. He refused to take any photos at the party, but But there were photos of other people at the party, and Rob could be seen standing in a random corner, almost as if he was purposely trying to make sure the cameras didn't get him. Now, when it comes to his sisters, they actually don't have anything nice to say about him at all. Kim, for example, has gotten into multiple fights with Kris because she feels like Kris babies Rob too much, and that's why Rob has failed at doing anything for himself. There was even a point in time where she told Kris to cut Rob off financially.
Not be paying for your son that is almost 30 years old to buy a house. Drop him. Cut the cord. You guys can judge me all day long. I came here to have a nice dinner, so just everybody relax. You all have to have somebody to blame and criticize instead of saying, what's the problem? The problem is you. Yes, it is. No, all of you can off and go think of something else to talk about. I've seen you guys through so much that you do that I have to put up with. I'm married for 72 days. Really, that was normal. I mean, the we've all gone through, you guys can do anything you want and it's okay, and I'm supposed to accept it all. And I'm gonna do the same thing for him. So stop judging me.
Now, when it comes to Rob's current whereabouts, is still unclear, but there have been rumors going around for a while now that his family sent him off to a secret rehab facility after he OD'd on some hard substances. On December 28, 2022, French and Spanish media reported that Rob Kardashian had a near-fatal drug overdose from fentanyl. His family managed to keep it out of the media here. Allegedly, he's been in rehab for a while. But see, these allegations are not as wild as they may sound, because Rob does in fact have a history of struggling with substances. Back in 2015, he reportedly checked himself into rehab after struggling with substances for over a year. A source from the Kardashian camp said, at the time, Rob is in good spirits and has a positive mindset. He quietly checked into a beachside Palm Beach County alcohol inpatient rehab center over the weekend. So as y'all can see, all this fame the Kardashians pulled in for themselves worked very well for the sisters, but it took a toll on his mental health, and they've pushed him to the side like he don't exist. If you take a look at his Instagram, you'll see that he barely has any posts up, and there are even reports that his team is running the account. Not only that, but people have noticed that Ko is the one who always spends time with his daughter Dream whenever it's his turn to have her, which only further supports the claims that he's away seeking help. As usual, people had a whole lot to say about this, like this person who said, I can't even imagine growing up in that family, but especially as the one male of the family who was constantly overshadowed by his sister's antics and their obscene desperation for fame at quite literally any cost. Another person said, the Kardashians broke Rob's spirit. He was broken from the loss of his father, self-medicated with drugs and food to cope with the pressures of being filmed with his narcissistic sisters as he struggled with his grief. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Rob disappearing from the internet? And do you think his family secretly checked him into rehab? Y'all then knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.